Ladies and gentlemen, imagine discovering that the smallest coins in your pocket could hold the biggest surprises. Coins you pass every single day. Coins you've seen 1,000 times. But what if one of them, just one, carries hidden value, collector demand, and a story waiting to be uncovered? In the world of coin collecting, ordinary change can turn into extraordinary treasure. A simple Lincoln penny, a common Washington quarter, the right date, the right mint mark, the right condition, and suddenly, that small piece of metal becomes something powerful. History, rarity, and opportunity, all in the palm of your hand. Today, we're diving into coins that may look ordinary at first glance, but for those who know what to look for, they can mean much more than face value. Because sometimes, the greatest discoveries don't come from treasure chests, they come from your own pocket. Let's get started. First up. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine reaching into your pocket and pulling out an ordinary-looking quarter, a simple 25-cent coin, the kind you use for tea, snacks, or parking. Now imagine that same coin, a 1981 Washington quarter with no mint mark, turning out to be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars to the right collector. Sounds unbelievable? Stay with me, because today we are diving deep into the mystery, value, and hidden power of the 1981 Washington quarter with no mint mark. A coin many people ignore, but serious collectors never overlook. The 1981 Washington quarter is part of the long-running Washington quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to honor America's first president, George Washington. By 1981, the quarter had already been circulating for nearly 50 years, becoming one of the most recognized coins in the United States. But not all 1981 quarters are created equal, especially those without a mint mark. Before we go further, let's understand what no mint mark really means. In 1981, U.S. quarters were struck at three major mint facilities: Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, and San Francisco Mint. Coins from Denver carry a D mint mark. Coins from San Francisco carry an S mint mark. But in 1981, quarters struck in Philadelphia carried no mint mark at all. That's right, the absence of a letter means it was minted in Philadelphia. At first glance, you might think, if millions were made in Philadelphia, how can they be valuable? That is where condition, rarity, and grading come into play. In 1981, over 673 million quarters were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. That sounds like a huge number, and it is. But here's the twist. Many of these coins entered circulation and were heavily used. High-grade, perfectly preserved examples are much harder to find today. Collectors pay attention to condition grades such as MS-60, MS-65, MS-67, and beyond. MS stands for mint state, meaning the coin was never circulated. A regular circulated 1981 no mint mark quarter might be worth face value, 25 cents. But an MS-65 example could sell for $10 to $20. An MS-67? That's where things become exciting. Some high-grade specimens have sold for several $100s at auction, and ultra-high grades, if certified, can command even more. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where treasure hunters get excited. Error coins are mistakes made during the minting process, and sometimes those mistakes turn ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. Some 1981 no mint mark quarters have been discovered with off-center strikes, double die errors, or clipped planchets. A dramatic off-center error can push value to $100, $300, or more depending on severity and condition. One of the most interesting factors about early 1980s quarters is strike quality. During this period, the U.S. Mint was under heavy production demand. Dies wore out quickly. Some coins show weak strikes, especially in Washington's hair details or the eagle feathers on the reverse. Ironically, while weak strikes reduce value, sharply struck coins from this year become premium collectibles. The reverse design of the 1981 quarter still featured the classic heraldic eagle, a design created by John Flanagan. Above the eagle reads, United States of America, and below it, $quarter. The motto E pluribus unum sits proudly above the eagle's head. This iconic design remained in use until 1998, before the state quarter program changed everything. So what should you look for if you have a 1981 quarter with no mint mark? First, check condition. Is it shiny? Does it show scratches or wear? Second, inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass. Look for doubling in the letters of liberty or in God we trust. Examine the rim for uneven spacing. Third, consider professional grading. Companies like PGS or NGC can certify and protect your coin, potentially increasing its market value. Now here's something many people don't realize. 1981 was a transitional period in U.S. coin collecting interest. The early 1980s saw economic challenges, inflation, and rising precious metal awareness. While quarters are made from copper-nickel clad, not silver, collectors began preserving high-grade modern coins during this era. That means finding untouched examples today is more competitive than you might expect. Let's talk numbers. A typical circulated 1981 no-mint mark quarter, 25 cents. AU, about uncirculated condition, maybe $1 to $3. MS-65, $10 to $20. MS-66, $25 to $60. MS-67, potentially $200 to $500, depending on auction demand. Error coins, they can exceed $1,000 if dramatic and certified. These values fluctuate based on collector demand, auction results, and overall coin market trends. But beyond money, there is something even more powerful: awareness. Because millions of people spend quarters every day without checking them. Imagine if you started looking. Imagine if one small detail, the absence of a mint mark, became your gateway into coin collecting knowledge. That's how many collectors begin: curiosity. And here's a powerful truth. While the 1981 no mint mark quarter is not considered rare in mintage numbers, it is conditionally rare in top grades. That phrase, condition rarity, is extremely important in modern coin collecting. It means common coins can become rare when found in exceptional condition. So what makes MS-67 examples rare? Most quarters were thrown into bags, transported in bulk, and released into circulation. They hit against other coins, creating tiny nicks called bag marks. Finding one without these marks is incredibly difficult. That's why collectors compete for top certified pieces. Let's imagine a scenario. A family saves rolls of quarters in 1981, never opening them. Decades later, those rolls are discovered in pristine condition. Inside could be high-grade coins worth far more than face value. Stories like this fuel the treasure hunting spirit in the coin community. If you are serious about checking your coins, use proper lighting. Avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning reduces value instantly. Store coins in protective holders. And if you believe you have a high-grade or error example, consult a professional dealer or submit for grading. In the world of numismatics, knowledge is power. The 1981 Washington quarter, with no mint mark, may not be $1 million coin, but it represents something bigger. It proves that even modern coins can hold hidden value. It reminds us that treasure does not always glitter. Sometimes it hides in plain sight. So tonight, before you spend your change, look closely. That small silver-colored quarter might be more than just 25 cents. It might be a collector's gem waiting to be discovered. And who knows? The next time someone dismisses a simple quarter, you might smile, because you understand its true potential. This is the power of awareness. This is the thrill of coin collecting. And this could be the beginning of your journey into hidden American treasure. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, imagine holding a simple 1-cent coin in your hand. A coin so small, so common, that most people toss it into jars, drawers, or even leave it behind at the checkout counter. Now imagine that very same coin, a 2008 D Lincoln penny, becoming a hidden treasure that collectors are actively searching for. Today, we uncover the surprising story, hidden value, and powerful potential behind the 2008 D Lincoln cent, a coin millions overlook, but smart collectors never ignore. The 2008 D Lincoln penny is part of the historic Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, replacing traditional symbolic designs. By 2008, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for nearly a century, a powerful symbol of American history passing from hand to hand. The D mint mark on this penny tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint. In 2008, the Denver Mint produced over 2.6 billion Lincoln cents. That sounds like an enormous number, and it is. But here's where collectors pay attention. Mintage alone does not determine value. Condition, errors, and unique characteristics can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary find. The 2008 Lincoln cent still features the familiar obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the front, you'll see Lincoln's right-facing portrait, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 2008. Just beneath the date, you'll find the small but powerful D mint mark. On the reverse, the coin displays the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been used since 1959, showing a detailed image of the Washington, D.C. landmark. If you look closely at the memorial, you can even see a tiny seated Lincoln statue inside, one of the smallest detailed designs ever placed on a U.S. coin. Now let's talk about composition. The 2008 D. Lincoln penny is made of 97.5% zinc, with a thin copper plating of 2.5%. This composition has been standard since 1982, when rising copper prices forced a change from the earlier bronze alloy. Because of this zinc core, modern pennies are more prone to damage, corrosion, and bubbling under the surface. Finding a perfectly preserved 2008 D penny without spots, scratches, or discoloration can be surprisingly difficult. In circulated condition, a 2008 D penny is worth exactly 1 cent, but in uncirculated condition, especially in mint state grades like MS65, MS66, or higher, the value can increase significantly. A typical MS65 example might sell for $5 to $15. Higher grades such as MS67 can reach $50 or more depending on demand and certification. Why? Because condition rarity matters. With billions produced, only a small percentage survive in flawless condition. But here's where things get truly exciting: mid-errors. Error coins are the heartbeat of modern coin collecting. Even common-date coins can become valuable when something unusual happens during production. Some 2008 D pennies have been found with off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned. Others show double-die errors, where letters or numbers appear doubled due to a misalignment in the die creation process. There are also examples of die cracks, cuds, and clipped planchets. One particularly sought-after type of error is strong doubling on Liberty, or In God We Trust. Collectors carefully inspect these areas with magnification. A confirmed double-die error in high grade can bring hundreds of dollars at auction. Off-center errors that show 10% to 50% misalignment, while still displaying the full date and mint mark, can sell for $100 to $300, depending on condition. Another factor that adds interest to the 2008 D. Lincoln penny is timing. The year 2008 marked the final full year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design. In 2009, the U.S. Mint released 4 special bicentennial reverse designs celebrating the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. That makes 2008 the end of an era, the final chapter of the memorial design that began in 1959. Many collectors see transitional years as historically meaningful. When searching for valuable 2008 D pennies, lighting is everything. Use a bright white LED light and a magnifying glass. Rotate the coin slowly to detect luster, that original mint shine that cartwheels across the surface. Avoid cleaning the coin at all costs. Cleaning removes natural luster and drastically reduces collector value. Professional grading services, such as PGS and NGC, can certify your coin's authenticity and condition. A certified high-grade 2008 D penny in a secure holder often commands higher prices than raw, ungraded examples. Collectors trust third-party grading because it guarantees the coin's quality and prevents disputes. Here's something powerful to remember. Modern coins are often overlooked today, but tomorrow they become history. The 2008 D. Lincoln penny may feel recent, but decades from now, pristine examples will be harder to find. Just like collectors today search for flawless 1970s or 1980s coins, future collectors will search for untouched 2008 coins. Imagine opening an old piggy bank years from now and discovering rolls of bright red 2008 D pennies saved in original mint condition. Those coins could represent small but meaningful investments. Coin collecting is not always about million-dollar rarities. It's about awareness, patience, and spotting opportunity where others see ordinary metal. The beauty of the 2008 D. Lincoln penny lies in its accessibility. Anyone can search for it. Anyone can start checking their change today. You don't need thousands of dollars to begin, just curiosity and attention to detail. That is how many lifelong collectors started their journey. So before you ignore that tiny copper-colored coin, look again. Check the date. Look for the D mint mark. Examine the condition. Search for doubling or unusual features, because hidden within everyday pocket change could be a small but powerful treasure waiting to be discovered. The 2008 D. Lincoln penny proves one important truth. Value is not always obvious. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, in the smallest denomination of American currency. And the next time you hold a penny, remember, greatness can come in the smallest form. Next up, dies and gentlemen, imagine holding a single penny in your hand. Just 1 cent. A coin so small that most people ignore it, drop it, or leave it behind without a second thought. But what if I told you that a 2001 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could be more than just spare change? What if this tiny copper coin hiding in your pocket right now carries hidden collector value, minting secrets, and surprising potential? Today, we uncover the powerful truth behind the 2001 no mint mark Lincoln cent, a coin millions have seen, but very few truly understand. The 2001 Lincoln penny belongs to the historic Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin ever to feature a real historical figure. For over a century, Lincoln's portrait has remained a symbol of strength, unity, and American heritage, passing through generations of hands. Now let's talk about the no mint mark detail. In 2001, pennies were struck at 3 major mint facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Pennies from Denver carry a D. Proof coins from San Francisco carry an S. But coins from Philadelphia? In 2001, they carried no mint mark at all. That means if your 2001 penny has no letter under the date, it was made in Philadelphia. In 2001, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 4.9 billion Lincoln cents. That's billions with a B. So how can such a common coin be valuable? The answer lies in condition, rarity in high grades, and mint errors. Most 2001 pennies entered circulation immediately. They were tossed into cash registers, vending machines, piggy banks, and coin jars. Over time, they developed scratches, dull surfaces, and wear. Finding a flawless, bright red example today is far more difficult than you might think. Collectors categorize pennies by color: brown BN, red-brown RB, and red RD. A fully red coin retains its original mint luster and copper shine. In circulated condition, a 2001 no mint mark penny is worth exactly 1 cent. But in mint state grades like MS65 red, values can range from $5 to $15. In MS66 or MS67 red, prices can jump to $40, $75, or even over $150, depending on market demand and certification. But here's where excitement builds: mint errors. Even modern pennies can carry dramatic mint mistakes. Some 2001 no mint mark pennies have been discovered with off-center strikes, meaning the design is shifted away from the center. Others show broad strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks running across Lincoln's portrait. One of the most searched for varieties is doubling in the inscriptions "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." True double die errors, not machine doubling, can significantly increase value, sometimes into the hundreds of dollars. Another interesting factor about the 2001 penny is its composition. Like all post-1982 Lincoln cents, it is made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. This zinc core can cause bubbling or blistering under the surface if exposed to moisture. That makes pristine examples even rarer over time. A high-grade coin without spots, corrosion, or discoloration becomes a premium collectible. Let's imagine a scenario. A roll of 2001 pennies was saved straight from the bank in original mint condition. 25 years later, those coins remain untouched, bright, red, and flawless. Inside that roll could be multiple high-grade coins worth far more than 1 cent each. This is the power of condition rarity, when a common coin becomes uncommon because of its preserved state. Professional grading services, such as PeaceGS and NGC, authenticate coins and assign official grades. A certified MS-67 red 2001 no mint mark penny in a protective holder often commands much higher prices than a raw coin. Collectors trust third-party grading because it ensures accuracy and protects investment value. Now here's something powerful to remember. Modern coins are the collectibles of tomorrow. Decades ago, people ignored 1950s and 1960s pennies. Today, collectors search for pristine examples from those years. The same pattern applies to 2001 coins. Time transforms everyday currency into historical artifacts. The 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny also represents the closing years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which ran from 1959 to 2008. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., with tiny details, including the seated Lincoln statue inside. In 2009, the reverse design changed to commemorate Lincoln's bicentennial, making 2001 part of the final stretch of the classic memorial era. If you want to search your own coins, start today. Use bright lighting. Examine both sides carefully. Tilt the coin to observe luster. That spinning cart will shine unique to uncirculated coins. Never clean your coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly and leaves permanent hairline scratches. Coin collecting is not just about rare million-dollar treasures. It's about knowledge, awareness, attention to detail. The 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny may not make you instantly rich, but it could be worth far more than face value in the right condition. And more importantly, it could be the coin that starts your journey into the world of numismatics. So tonight, before you ignore that penny sitting on your table, pick it up. Check the date. Look for the missing mint mark. Study its color and condition, because hidden in that small copper coin could be a story of American history, minting craftsmanship, and unexpected opportunity. Sometimes treasure doesn't glitter. Sometimes it's small, simple, and worth just 1 cent, until someone with knowledge recognizes its true power.